Chapter 10. Moses here continues the retelling of what transpired at Sinai. He had broken the original stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. Now he must bring his own plain ones, which the Lord would again write upon them, the Ten Commandments. And I'm just going to play the text and audio of this once again, but I'm giving a brief summary of it. He was then to build the Ark of the Covenant, where he would place the Ten Commandments in. He then remembers the death of Aaron, his brother, the high priest, which would happen sometime later, and his son Eleazar's succeeding him. Moses also fails not to mention the good things in which God has done for them. That's a continual reminder during this last sermon unto the people, as once again he is speaking to the new generation, so they're having to be reminded. But there are just a couple of verses that I would like to quickly examine. We went over a little bit of this in a prior study, but let's look at Deuteronomy 10, 12, and 13. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. Remember, everything God commands of us is for our good too. It's not just to keep a fellowship with God, but it also keeps us healthy, at least as much as possible for each individual, but also healthy in the sense of emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all of these different ways. It's for our good as well. Now let's quickly examine one more verse, and that is verse 16, where it's referring to the symbolism behind circumcision, which began with Abraham. And it's very important among the Jews, that of circumcision. But through Moses, hundreds of years after it began with Abraham, we see a much deeper and a spiritual connotation that is far more revealed even in the New Testament, which we'll come to. But Moses, he says this, "Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked." Here he teaches them that the true and spiritual meaning of that rite, as was afterwards more strongly urged by Paul, which we're about to read, and should be applied by us to our baptism, which is not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, not water baptism, but the baptism of the Spirit, to which John the Baptist himself even referred to, that Jesus brought. Not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward God. 1 Peter 3:21. And as usual, this ancient truth was far more revealed unto Paul the Apostle, unto the Gentiles. For circumcision, he wrote, verily profiteth, meaning it profits you much, if you keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, those in whom aren't circumcised, but if they keep the righteousness of the law, shall not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? Meaning that if you have a spiritual fellowship with God, that unseen thing, if you have that far deeper relationship with God, then it is you, even if uncircumcised in the flesh, that are truly circumcised in heart, meaning pure and right with God, not those in whom are simply circumcised with the flesh. And shall not uncircumcision, which is by nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision dost transgress the law? For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Very important, and man, did Paul ever catch a lot of flack for this. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly. Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh, but he is a Jew, which is one inwardly. And circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God.
Chapter 10. At that time the Lord said unto me, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were in the first tables which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in mine hand. And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, in the day of the assembly, and the Lord gave them unto me. And I turned myself and came down from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made. And there they be, as the Lord commanded me. And the children of Israel took their journey from Beeroth of the children of Jaachin to Moserah. There Aaron died, and there he was buried, and Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead. From thence they journeyed unto Gudgodah, and from Gudgodah to Jotbath, a land of rivers of waters. At that time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi, to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day. Wherefore Levi hath no part nor inheritance with his brethren. The Lord is his inheritance, according as the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount, according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights, and the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good. Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord's thy God, the earth also, with all that therein is. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. For the Lord your God is God of gods, and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, in giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy God, that hath done for thee these great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons, and now the Lord thy God hath made thee as the stars of heaven for multitude.